What's again, my people? You know it is the Don Tony Teflon. I am back at you with another one, and we're here. Listen, today's a great day. You know, today's is a great day. It's been a great week for the brother. You know what I mean? The OG in the black hoodie. You know me. You know me. Never bow to no man, kiss no rings. Ain't a whole motherfucker doing whole things just to get accepted, just to be included. I'm from Queens, New York. That ain't how we do it. And it has been a great week. Obviously, my birthday passed, right? Put the book out this year. Hit 100,000 subscribers this year, right? Last year, but end of last year, same thing. The year started off in a great way for me. So let's do this like we used to do it back in the day. And I am rocking here by myself. I don't have anybody with me, but I am not alone. Not alone at all. I am joined by the official 100,000 subscriber plaque is rocking with your boy, the Don Tony Teflon. Rocking with me. It has been a long road, a long time coming, and we have hit this mark. And I have hit this mark due to all y'all supporting the Don over the years and everybody rocking with me and all that good stuff. You know, we got some super chats. Let's go through them real quick. My girl, Luna Cascade, donates $49.99. She says, a little something to help you celebrate your award. It represents many hours of work and dedication. You deserve all the good things coming your way. Thank you so much. It's very generous of you to do that. You know, I got nothing but love for you, Luna. You have been a supporter of the channel for a very long time now, and you keep rocking with me. So I truly, truly appreciate it. John Haymaker, new member, John. I would have thought you were already been a member. But we'll take you as a new member. Thank you for being a member. And Rose Jones donates $20, saying, happy belated birthday and congratulations on the 100K plaque. Now, do you have anything? I think there may be something else down there. Anything else? Yep, we have another. No, that is the super chat that we start off with. So yeah, listen, I want to thank everybody, man. And listen, we're gonna do a whole live stream. I'm gonna wax poetic about all the people on YouTube, all the people outside of YouTube, everyone who helped me get to this place and everything else and did all this. So we ain't gonna get into that tonight. We're gonna get into that in a little bit later on a later date. You know what I mean? We'll have a bunch of guests. The real rebel dedicate hits me with 5 beans. Thank you so much. Congratulations, brother. 100. And as always, you know, we got the Thug Mug is in hand. We've been rocking this Thug Mug since the beginning of the channel, and we still got the Thug Mug. We still got it. And we got this. This was the gold from the beginning, and the gold has been hit, and many people have had more subscribers, and I don't care. I am happy to have this. I am happy to have what I have. I'm very happy. No one thought I'd get it. People hated on the Don. You know they were hating on me, man. You know they was hating on me. You know people didn't want, because I can just go to Twitter and I posted a picture up there, and you don't see none of them cats. Only my man Smokescreen over there showing me some love and stuff like that. I don't see a lot of people who were supposed to be down with me over the years, other YouTubers showing me love on this at all. You know what I mean? My man Smokescreen real got my back and everything else. Got nothing but love for Smoke. You know what I mean? When I dropped the book, Smoke's the one who did all that. So listen, we will wax poetic about all this and this achievement and everything else and all that good stuff. And it does say presented to the Don Tony Teflon TV for passing 100,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Is there a naked woman in my reflection? Nope, just that chick behind me right there. You know what I mean? That's so, but no naked women up in this piece. Not at all. But I am extremely happy, extremely proud that y'all definitely stuck with me all these years. Proud that I didn't give up. And a lot of times I wanted to give up. A lot of times I wanted to stop, and I may have stopped. But I had people help talk me through it, talk me down and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And we still here and we did it. And we started doing A Song of Ice and Fire Game of Thrones. Switched away from that, started doing other shows, tried to get traction in some comic book stuff, never got no traction in that. Got Dexter, got Better Call Saul, got these other shows, got a fan base doing those shows. It's very hard to rebrand yourself on YouTube after you've done something for so long. So when I finally got traction on these other shows, it really meant a lot for me. You know what I mean? And thank you, because all these last subs that I got, probably the last 40,000 has all been probably from and all that stuff. So I want to say thank you all, for rocking with the Don Tony Teflon, best in the business, baby, and Phil the Issues guy. Listen, could not done it without Phil, and LMR, and I will go through all the people who helped me get here, but those two especially. You know what I mean? Rocking with me for a very long time, been down with me for a very long time, rocking with your boy. You know what I'm saying? And and just keeping it through. You know what I mean? Keeping it through. And it wasn't like I was one of these YouTubers who had bigger YouTube channels shouting me out all the time, telling people to subscribe. Never had nothing like that. I never had people doing that for me. Never had no one did that for me. No one helped me like that. You know what I mean? Did this all this grind. And my man Bridge 4, Fedor, you know what I mean? My brother Bridge 4. A lot of people I've come across in this business, but not as many people are actually that I can consider my friends, my brothers. You know what I mean? Not many that I've come across that I could actually say that about. Obviously, I could say that about my people from the Hypes Watch, and I will say that about them. I'll say that about the Small Council. When I first started, Bard the Porto, Phil the Issues guy, and Bridge 4 are my brothers. It got nothing to do with YouTube. It's got nothing to do with anything like that. Like that's my motherfucking man, 50 grand, you know what I'm saying? And everything else. And now my job is that I got here. I need to build my man's channel up and get him where he needs to go. He can get himself a plaque. That's the next step. That's what we got to get to. That's my next goal, is to get Phil to 100,000 and get Phil out there, because he deserves it as much as I did, because he's been in this business. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for him. A lot of my personality that I was able to bring and everything else and all that good stuff was because of seeing him do his thing and seeing how people accepted him. So I was like, if they can accept him doing his thing, then why not can't they accept me doing my thing? You know what I mean? So I will talk all about that, and I promise I will talk all about that stuff later when we do the actual 100,000 subscriber live stream. I was going to do it Saturday, but I don't know if I can, because y'all know, we talked about this. Y'all know I haven't spoken to my brother in like 15 years and stuff, And Saturday, he's going to come to my house, and we're going to have this conversation. And first time we had a conversation in 15 years. So I don't know where that's going to go and everything else. So, going to hope for the best there and everything else. But I don't know if I'll be able to do the live stream then. So maybe Friday night or something like that, I'll be able to get that done and everything else, right? So again, I'm gonna hold this up all night, but I just want to say, thank you to everybody and all that good stuff, you know what I mean? And all that, and I truly appreciate everything that all y'all have done for me. And I'm saying, this is chef's kiss. I wanted this so bad. I wanted this so bad for so motherfucking long. You have no idea how bad I wanted this thing for so long. So long. I wanted this thing, and I finally got it, and it means the world to me. It really does. I truly appreciate it. Now, I know that I said that I hit 100,000, that I would stand up here naked and do the helicopter dance for y'all. I know I said that, but this is not OnlyFans page. This is not Teflon TV OnlyFans. That was a joke. Can't do that. Can't do that. That's exclusive stuff, bro. You guys exclusive stuff. Right? Can't do that. But again, and all the men would not appreciate that. Right? I'm sure some of them would. But not all, right? So I don't want to lose my fan base. I just got here, and all of a sudden I lose 5,000 subscribers. Like, this is crazy stuff. Oh, and Michelle, thank you so much. You are so, thank you so much. 1999, you deserve it. 100K and counting. Again, the phone line is open right now. If you want to call me up and say what up to your boy, you know I got the phone lines open now. You can call me up. You want to say congratulations or whatever. I will put the on the banner. I will put the number down there. Right there. It is right there. 518-290-0848 is the number. 518-290-0848 is the number. All right. I know that y'all have come here to talk about From, as it says right off the bat, and everything else. We will talk about From. Let's get into it. And we're going to focus this episode of Teflon TV on the character of Tabitha. All right, we're going to talk about Tabitha. Obviously, Tabitha is a character that I think that most people would say is probably the main character of the show, right? Tabitha, more than Jade, you would have to say Tabitha is the main person on this show. We have seen her from what she went through. She was the one who escaped. She's the one who is really Miranda soul reincarnated, right? So we would have to say Tabitha is at all the people there, though we know that Boyd, it's Harold's show, and he's one of the main cast members. In this show, we would have to say Tabitha is the main catalyst of this show. Everything's going to be moved about. And again, you know what I mean? Glue Guns and Roses, she is asking, is this, no, this is not the 100K celebration. This is not that. This is just the From. We're just talking From on this one. I just had to show it, you know what I mean? Or anything else like that. I just had to show the plaque and everything, but maybe I'll be able to do it on Friday night. And so I was planning on going to Connecticut Friday night, but I may not be able to go to Connecticut. So if I do not go, then I will definitely do that, do the stream the Friday night. And again, I'll try to have some people on there from the past, from the present, and hopefully, you know, some future fans up in here and stuff like that, and people will help along the way getting there. So when we look at Tabitha, right? When we look at Tabitha and we see that everything that has transitioned through it, we could start right off the bat. Tabitha is the one who was down in the cave with Victor. All right. Tabitha was the one who seen the Ankui children first. Tabitha is the one who escaped Fromville, the only one that we know that has escaped Fromville and come back. Has anyone ever done that before? That's what was interesting to me. Is Tabitha the only person who's ever been in this place, has escaped this place, and actually made it back? People may have escaped before, but to actually escape and come back, I think that she might be the only one who has ever been able to pull that off, which makes her a special person right off the bat. Because I can't see anyone else doing anything like that. Someone is putting in there Eloise. So I don't know. We don't know if Eloise actually escaped. So when you deal with this, the Eloise situation, it does seem like she's alive, right? You know what I mean? It does seem like she is definitely alive. The way that or it's either they're going to make her alive or they gave her a reason to be alive. They didn't. The showrunners gave her a reason because when Victor said he found the body parts, he thought it was her, but she was so small he could not really tell if it was her. So they give it out, right? So if they want to bring the character of Eloise in, they can, or they can just say that it was her. So it gives the showrunners two ways to go. So I'm going to say that Eloise never made it out. I don't believe she made it out. I think Eloise is there. You know, she must still be there. And again, we've heard before her say straight up, you know, that she is that she's a great hider, right? She likes to hide. She's a great hider. She's hided many times. She's great at hide and seek. It's just would be very strange for me. Again, as it's strange for me for Victor. So let's put it both out there since it's his sister, that Victor was able to survive in this place as a child for all the years he did with no adult contact. It'd be hard for me to, they would have to really explain to me how this chick was able to survive all this time by herself. How'd she get food? How'd she get water? How she wash her ass? How she did anything like this as a child all this time and not trip, fall, break an ankle? You get a fever in there. as a child, and you got no one to help you, no antibiotics, no nothing, you dead, right? It's a simple thing like that. You could look at back in the day when people lived back in the day, people would die from bee stings all the time. All right, this one bee sting, one tick bite would kill you, right? All such little things like that could kill you, especially if you're a child on your own. So it's kind of hard for me to think of how she could have survived without help. So if she is there, I think that they have to introduce someone who helped her all these years, someone who was able to keep her alive. And I think that's going to have to be explained too with Victor. I think Victor. So, and if you want to say the boy in white is the person who actually helped them and did things and everything else like that, then I could maybe buy it a little bit. But how much help can he give? He's going to say, hey, follow me. There's food over here. Because all the food that we see in this place, from what we've seen in there, has been planted. All right. There's no McDonald's. I ain't seen no Burger King. All right. There's no goddamn Uber Eats. These monsters aren't dressed as delivery drivers. We don't see the nurse monster dropping Big Macs off at people's houses. All right. Now, if we had something like that, then sure. All right. And nurse monster or the granny monster stop by with some soup and shit once in a while, then I can see it going down like that, right? But I ain't never seen him do no shit like that. I ain't never see him do it. You know what I mean? So it suspends belief for me of how they would be able to survive and all that, you know, because you would have to know if it's going to say that planting vegetables, you got to know how to plant the vegetables. You got to know how to put the seeds down. You got to know how to water it. You got to know how to fertilize it. It's not easy shit. Adults can't do it, let alone little fucking kids, right? So they would have to, in my opinion, introduce some type of entity in there that helped them, or some other people in there that helped them along the way, that got them through this whole thing. Now, if you want to say the seasons never changed, and that's why they're able to survive the winter and all that. There was never a winter. It was always warm. It was always 100%. But I'm saying, when you're a little kid and there's water in the lake, you can't just drink that water in the lake, all right? You can't just stick your mouth in there, not unless you got a life straw. But if you ain't got water, how you gonna stick your face in there and just drink that water, bacteria? You dead. You dead, right? Unless you live in one of these houses and the water's coming out and there's a filter in this house or something like that, you know. But if she was living in one of these houses this whole time, how come Victor never seen her all these years? And if Victor's living in this house and everything else, right? It's so, in order for that, they would have to explain that to me. But I do believe that Eloise is most likely alive. Now, if she is dead, I do believe that she is reincarnated out of Sarah. Now, from what we know about the reincarnation of the people, that it has, as it should be, from what I have seen, it should only be Tabitha and Jade. Even I think it's Sarah. If it's going to be, it makes sense for me for it to be Sarah, or Sarah be a form of Eloise from a parallel universe that's come over here, or something like that. Because from what we've heard about this whole situation, it seems that the way that it is that you had to be one of these people who did the sacrifice in order for it to come back. Like those two in particular are cursed from not fulfilling a sacrifice, right? They're coming back time and time again. Like that's their punishment for not following through. So it should only be those two. It shouldn't be other people. If the story is the way I see it, and if the story is what they presented, that is the way it should be. It should just be these two people. They're the only ones. But now we also talking about time travel. When we're dealing with, you want to call it story walking, call it what it really is. We're talking about time travel here, right? Let's not be confused here. You give things fancy names, you know, like they did Bran Stark in Game of Thrones was warging people. No, he's a body snatcher. All right, body snatching people. That's what he was. You want to give it a fancy name like skin changer, warging, like it's spent, body snatching, taking somebody's body against their will as a body snatcher. All right, that's what he was. Give it a cute name. So when you start story walking, ain't no damn story walking. It's goddamn time travel. So if you want to believe that there's other people who have been able to do this, then maybe it could be a situation where someone has kept going back. And we keep going back over and over again to feed these kids for 10, 20 years, or dropping enough food off every 8 months so that they can survive here, and then going back and dropping more food off 8 months later, and then dropping some more off here and there. I mean, if you want to say that they did something like that, I could see them doing that. I wouldn't like it, but it would fit the whole situation and everything else. TJU, he says, TJ says, Story Walker is a time traveler because you can't alter major timeline events. And that's what they claim. And I agree. Like, so it's all about, and I did a whole video, you go check it out, of how time travel is used in different stories. There's 7 different ways time travels can go. And you could go check out my video that I just dropped, and I explain all 7 ways of time travel. And they're going to have to pick one of those 7 to actually do it, So you could have the time travel like Michael J. Fox, where you go back into time, and when you go back into the time and you do something like your parents don't meet, then you erase yourself from history. You could do that. You can do the Jinn paradox, which Jinn, I told you about this, right? The Jinn paradox, which is you go back in the time and the Beatles have written a hit song that you know of. And this time, let's just say 50 Cent wrote In the Club, right? I know In the Club because 50 Cent wrote it. But then I go back in the day and I meet 50 Cent and I give him his CD back in the day. And then he comes out with In the Club. Now, did he come up with that because he listened to the CD that I dropped off to him? But I'm the one who heard the CD before to drop it off to him, right? So then you get that whole Jinn paradox right there, that whole circle of it. It could be a situation like that going on when it comes down to him, the time travel. And you also have the alternate dimension time travel, where if you do something on one timeline and change it, it branches off, it makes a brand new timeline, and you're not on the main timeline anymore. You have changed to a different timeline when you have done that. We've seen that similar in Avengers Endgame. They use that time travel trope. So there's a bunch of them. Right. So they're going to have to settle on one of them. And when they settle on it, that will determine exactly what's going on. Again, we've heard Ethan say that you can't change the book. I mean, George R. R. Martin is famous for putting in his books, the page is written, the ink is dry. And he always said that you couldn't affect the past by going, you can't affect the past by going back. But in his book story, from what we've seen in the show, Bran did affect Hodor from the future, going back and walking from Hodor in the past all the way into the future. He walked into past Hodor to take control of him in the future, which turned Hodor into Hodor originally, right? And that was out of like a vision. He was able to do that, right? So there's different forms of time travel. It's all this depends on how they use this in this show. We don't know how they're going to use it, so we can't speculate at all how it's going to go down. But we can speculate. That's what we do here, right? So it's really all up to them to see exactly how they're going to run it and stuff. That being said, that when we look at the whole situation dealing with Tabitha and Jade, and the fact that they weren't going to do her escaping and everything else, right? They weren't. Thank you, TJ. I appreciate that. They weren't going to do that until season 4. I think they're only going to have 5 seasons of the show. So if that was going to happen, the penultimate episode season, they were planning on doing it. Her escaping and then coming back in the final season. All this stuff they pushed forward means that was endgame stuff when they originally wrote this script. The endgame, Tabitha gets pushed out. She comes back, and then she brings Victor's father's back. She brings Acosta back. All this Elgin stuff, I don't think would have been able to play out the way they did it if they would have brought it back the final season. This Elgin, Fatima stuff would have all had to be pushed forward Like all that would have had to happen before she would weigh everything else. That would have all had to happen. The whole boy thing that would have happened. Then Tabitha would have probably left after that, and then everything else, right? So everything gets pulled forward because there's no way you're going to do in the last season. You're going to do this Elgin torture stuff. It just doesn't make any sense to do that in the last season because and for what? There's no cliffhanger there and anything else like that. You know, it's not going to be a situation like that. Now I see a lot of stuff. I see Julie, and I see your comments and everything else, and saying that Julie maybe saved Eloise. Julie, when you deal with this time travel situation, you can mark and make many things Julie could be a part of. All right, you can go through the whole show and make her a part of many things. What the problem is when you do this is that, to me, it's poor. It's you have no ideas as a writer to fix a problem. So you say, all right, we do this, right? If it's not set up properly. We did see Miranda. When Miranda came out there, we did not see any signs of Eloise or anything else like that. So could you say when Eloise ran out, Julie all of a sudden came back? She was right there when Miranda came out. She snatches Eloise up and then hides Eloise, and then Miranda gets killed. 100% you could do it. It does not explain how she survived all those years, though, but you could do it, right? So you have to be careful with this, not to make it, number one, too repetitious, right? You're not going to use it over and over and over again, right? For every situation, you can't have that happen. Because if you have something like that happen in every situation, it gets boring, it gets repetitive, and it just gets sloppy. So you can't have it. Now, as I've said before, I believe that Julie, Randall, and Marielle and them dragged the tent from Boyd and them, right? And I think that theory, and the reason why I came up with that theory, is because we've seen the tent actually being dragged, and we have no idea how the tent got dragged. We've heard Kenny say, and when Boyd and them say that it's possible they didn't see this area because they got pulled past it. And we've seen them get pulled, right? So that's when I said, it's like when you seen the rope go down to Boyd, we've seen that rope go down, and we had the question of who dropped the rope, right? So to me, if we have not had that question yet, then anything else they do to it, to me, would be poor. So I wouldn't want to see it. Not saying they shouldn't do it. They're showrunners. They do whatever they want. But to me, if it's not already been established as something like that, the tent being dragged, the rope being dropped down, if they just go into it right now, and to me, it could be a bit of problem solving and stuff. Julie says that big ass spider dragged the tent. We've never seen a big spider. All right, we never seen it. We've seen no big spider at all in it. We've seen a bunch of little spiders, but we didn't see a big spider. Now, again, when you look at the drawing of Victor, and he has a spider in it, and the spider is prominent in the drawing, so the spider looks like it's a large spider. But if you look at the water drops, and if we're going to take these things to size, the spider is only a little bit bigger than the actual water drop, right? So if the spider is only bigger than the water droplets that's in the picture, and we're taking everything to size, then it can't be that large of a spider, all right? Because we're talking about spiders that are as big as water droplets, which would be the spiders that we have already seen, all right? So I'm not saying that there is a giant spider out there, but if we're going by that picture that Victor put out there, there are water droplets there. This is drops of water. Drops of water, rain, are not big. And the spider was barely bigger than those drops of water. So we're going to take the things to scale. That we have to say those were the spider. That spider was the small ones that we see. Now, obviously, if there's a mother spider or something, it's going to be bigger than those. The ones that we see coming out of the things. And yes, Dita, you're saying giant spiders may not. That's an expensive thing to have a spider. That's very expensive. To have a giant spider is very expensive. You know, when you look at The Witcher, and The Witcher did giant spiders, they had a big budget, and They didn't even show that when he fought that spider. It wasn't even that long of a battle. It was quick. You know what I mean? When we seen giant spiders, like the Lord of the Rings, that's a huge budget to do that whole spider thing. So also you have to ask yourself, what can they do, right, that is going to look good on television, right? They're going to look good on television. Can't look like shit, man. You know, you don't want nothing to look stupid to throw anybody out of it, right? And what is actually works for the show that we have been presented. If all of a sudden they're in there and a giant spider jumps out of nowhere right now, does that really fit what we've been shown in this show so far? If we've seen a giant spider, all of a sudden they go down the cave and there's a giant spider down there. Would that really fit it? Would that make that there? You know what I mean? I just don't know if that works for this show, the giant spider. Again, I don't know if they want to go use that budget that they have. And I'm sure the budget's limited. I'm sure it's a good budget. Obviously, they've got a boost in budget from season 1 to season 2 because we've seen that the creatures look much better. All right. They did some decent, good special effects work with the cows being killed and with the creatures looking better now, and with Miss Lou. But a lot of that is practical effects, right? So a lot of those practical effects, and when we had the man in yellow came on the channel and everything, when he came on here, we you know, he said, you know, the stuff they did with the Jim throat rip and all that was all practical effects and everything, right? So a lot of it, and then obviously make it look better, but a lot of the stuff that they're using that we've seen in this show are practical effects. Now, for them to build out a giant spider in a costume, to me, doesn't work. You would have to probably do that almost full CGI, and to do a full CGI is not good. The monsters are not CGI. They're not. The monsters are all practical effects. They just put some embellishments on them with CGI, but the monsters aren't CGI. They're all just got makeup on and stuff. You can see them behind the scenes and everything. They have all that there. All right. So we know that most of this is, and listen, as TJ says, when we had Dale come on the show, Cliff Saunders, he said straight up that whole scene that he was in there was all practical effects. The whole thing, that was not a little CGI that did, but it was a whole practical effects to have him up in there. So that's the seems that what they're doing for this show is mostly practical effects. So if they're going to continue that pattern, to me, it would just be impractical for them to do a large CGI spider out of nowhere. It just wouldn't work for me, right? It wouldn't work, you know. So I can't see them doing it. I'm not going to say that they can't or anything else like that, but I can't see them do that. Again, you want to give me a call, 518-290-0848. Let me check and make sure that this thing is working properly. Y'all don't got to be afraid to call me up and speak to me. You know, I'm not about that. A robotic spider Jackie C would be extremely expensive. There would be no way they could do that on this budget. I don't think so. Good day, mate. Australia AU is legit. What's going on to my girl from down under, Suzanne? And also we got our girl Carla Way from down under. We have a pretty good Australia following on this channel. Pretty good Australia following going on out there. You know, one place I would like to go to Australia. I really would, but you can die so many ways in Australia. I mean, there are so many things out there that can kill you. Just about everything can kill you in Australia. I don't know how y'all do it every day. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. You know, you could die, fall asleep, and get stung by a scorpion. The kangaroos could just jump in your truck at any time. These are crazy things that could happen. All right, we have a phone call coming in. This is 330.
Eric.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
The Don, what's going on? This Rebel Eric.
What's going on, Eric? How's everything?
Everything all right, man. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
I've been listening since Lovecraft Country. That's when I discovered you. So congrats, man. I'm glad you didn't do the helicopter dance because we don't need a Black Hawk Down. So congrats again, man. I'm glad you ain't do that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
But I'm gonna keep it short and sweet today, man. I think with the From thing, I think Tabitha, she probably gonna know a lot more about the town, her and Jade and stuff, so they'll be able to figure out things more and stuff. So I think she's just gonna be a source for the town to try to figure out things since she's been there the longest. So I think that's probably what's gonna be her arc in the story. She's gonna know more about the town. And Julie, I think maybe her and Julie might run into each other or something in the past. Since like Julie can jump time and stuff, like you said, they could do so many things with the Julie thing. I think that's why they pretty much added that in there to kind of tweak things, to try to spice up things. But I'm a big believer in when you do time stuff, man, you got to do it right. Because like you said, they could easily fix things, and that's just not good. So maybe her and Julie might run into each other. And do you think Julie might be a reincarnation of maybe Eloise?
I don't. As I said before, I think that the punishment for them not doing the sacrifice is for those two, two to be the ones who get reincarnated over and over again and forced to live it over again. So I think it's only going to be those two.
Yeah, so they kind of get so you think like they got kind of a live forever type punishment too, huh?
Yeah, that's their live forever punishment. They get died and come back and have to do it again. Die, come back and have to do it again. That's their punishment for what they did. Yeah,
they have to go through finding their memories and all of that stuff again. So the boy in white could have done this before with her. That's probably why he was saying like, I got to do this, you know.
Yeah,
you do this type of trauma type thing.
He did it with Christopher, right? So he was already did it with. So you can say he did it with Jade before. So he probably did it with Tabitha. We don't know exactly how many times they've been reincarnated, but you could say that he's done it with both of them over, 5-10 times, maybe, if not longer.
Yeah. Totally agree. Well, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. And congratulations again, man. I'm proud to be somebody who listens to your channel, man. So congrats again.
I appreciate you, brother.
And no helicopters, man. No helicopters.
No, we ain't gonna do it, bro. We ain't gonna do it. So I'm gonna give you Stevie Wonder. I'm gonna give you the Stevie no. We ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right, man. One.
Well.
Take this call. This is 267. 267. What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. And they're gone. I think what happened was that I don't know if they got nervous or they called in and then had someone else and blah, blah, blah. But hopefully if you just called in, call right back. I was right there. I did say what up to you and everything else and all that good stuff. What y'all gotta have all y'all people in Australia. Hopefully y'all could become friends and see each other. Hopefully you're not too far apart. I know everyone be thinking like, oh, hey, we friends in Australia. Listen, it's just like friends in the United States. It's a big country, man. It doesn't mean you live close to by each other and stuff. But maybe at one of Carla Way's show, if y'all out there, y'all can show up and show her some love and stuff and go watch her perform because she's an amazing singer and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And all that good stuff. So hopefully y'all can hook up like that and stuff like that and everything, But yeah, so again, if Tabitha's job is just to relay information, and that's what they're going to go with her character, and that's how it's going to go. It gives you the thing that Tabitha is untouchable, right? That Tabitha can't die. And hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully Tabitha can die, and hopefully she is on the chopping block also. I think that one of them have to die. I would think that maybe her or Jade will have to die to make it effective, because if one of them don't die, to me that would be boring. Uh, you need both of them can't make it out. In fact, I don't think a lot of people can make it out of this show. I think a lot of people have to go. Again, most likely Boyd will sacrifice himself and he won't make it out in the end. He'll sacrifice himself, get his son out, get Fatima out, and then he'll just die up in there or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's just what it's going to be. Or something, you know what I mean? It's gonna. But I would think that Tabitha or Jade, most likely Jade. If you got to pick, it would be that situation. Oh, look at that. PM Philosophy says congratulations, and you put the real alien. I know somebody put up in there, Tony Teflon. I hope you don't have to eat that hot chip. I ain't gonna eat that hot chip. You ain't gotta worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Trust me. I know I'm right. I ain't worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. Trust me. Trust me. When you see it in the end, and y'all come back and you're like, "Damn, Tony Teflon was right." You're gonna see that's what it was. The house Teflon down. What's up with Tennessee? From what I know right now, the Nashville trip will happen. From everything that we're saying, it will happen. The Nashville trip. All right. So far, everything is on schedule. Everything is being planned right now. We will get the website. The website was created already. I have it already. All the ticket stuff, to take money for the tickets and everything else. Again, a lot of it is going to depend on the pre-orders, right? Because obviously I got to use a lot of that pre-order money to see what we can do with it and what we could book with it. And when it comes down to like actors and things like that, right? So, but besides that, yes, could we get? I see that. Victor, actor who plays Victor Scott, and Donna are doing a thing in Atlanta somewhere. In the camp, I think that they're promoting right now. They're going to that in May and stuff. So, if I could have spoke to the people who did the camp, I could speak to them and see. Listen, no one's coming for free. Nobody's coming for free. I have spoken to many of the people who are the manager who manages a lot of the people who are monsters on the show. And I talked to him about it, and I'm, trying to work things out behind the scenes and stuff. And listen, they want money, right? Which they should, offer them flights, offer them free hotel, offer them the chance to sign autographs and take any money they get for signing autographs and taking pictures with them, of course, and all that stuff. No, just me, Smiley. No one's coming free. But I tell you this, I'm telling you this, they don't come free. Everybody wants something, and wants something for their time. All right, just I spoke to these people. Everybody wants something, which they should, right? They should. Again, I know that I can't. How much when they did the Con of Thrones, and they got Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who played Jaime Lannister there. I think they paid like $30,000 to get him there for 3 days. And he signed autographs and took pictures with people. And I think he charged $50. I don't know, it was $50, like almost $100, like almost $100 for a picture and autograph he was charging, I think. And I'm telling you, if you look at my channel, you can see I took a bit. It was around the corner. I would say he did at least 1,000, 1,500 people autograph pictures in those days that he was there. So he walked away with a grip of money. That's what it is. As for Julie B, deep dive saying Jay McGuire, Smiley would come for free. I'm telling you, I have spoken to his manager. I've spoken to a lot of their managers already. Trust me, everybody wants something. Everybody. Just a flight and a hotel ain't enough. If it was, I would already have people booked. It's not enough. So trust me, I'm speaking to people, and I'm not saying that they're asking for a lot or anything else like that. But listen, people have time. right? They got time. People got, these aren't, even when you think about someone like, say, Nikolai Costa-Waldau, who has got immense amount of money. He don't need the money. He was doing good. He still wanted the money doing it. You know what I mean? And everything else like that. You know what I mean? But you know, it would they still have to pay these people to something for their time, right? You still have to pay them something. Doug Hugh, I'm sure I can get Doug to come down. I'm 100% positive I can get Doug to come down. 100%. I can get you can get anyone you want if you have enough money. All right, you can get Beyonce to sing at your wedding if you offer enough money. You could get anyone in the world you want if you have enough money. So in the end, when it comes down to it, it's just going to come down to how much on the pre-sale tickets do I get. If we get a lot of pre-sale tickets and we get enough money, that is the money I'm going to work with. I said, all I want to do in this whole situation at this particular time is just break even. If I break even, because most people lose money the first time they do it. If I could break even, I'd be happy just breaking even on it. So I will use the money that I get from that just to make sure that I can get the people there that y'all want to talk to and stuff. And and listen, again, it really isn't about them. It's more about the YouTubers, right? It's Tube Bash. So it's more about hanging out with the YouTubers and stuff like that. Obviously, you want to have some of them and everything else and all that and everything. I want to have some of them there just because I'm sure it'd just be great to see them in person and stuff. But it's more about the YouTubers. It's more about having, me, obviously, the Don Tony Teflon. I'll be on a few panels, hosting a few panels. Obviously, we'll have our man, the professor, Real Theories in the Neighborhoods. He'll be on some panels, talking his stuff on his panels. Terran Matheru, we will have him there and talking on panels. And we'll talk to other YouTubers, you know what I mean? And see if they want to show up. We'll offer it up, to them. We'll offer them up. And whether they want to go or not, it's up to that's going to be all on them, you know what I mean? But we'll offer it up for them, you know what I mean? And see what we could do and everything else. But it mostly the first and everything else will be more about the YouTubers. And as we grow, because once we do it once, then we'll be able to continue it and do it multiple years. Second year, it will always get bigger, and stuff. So we just got to open it up. We just got to get it started. We just got to get it popping. And once we get it popping, then we're able to expand and do more things. And, I'm saying the more money you make, the more people you can get and everything else like that. And if we get enough money, we get Boyd up in there. But we're going to have some bank to get Boyd up in there. You know what I mean? This is not like we ain't gonna be able to get them up in there for $5,000. We gonna have to come out of our pocket to get them up in there. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Sonic, your boy, is there a plaque for 200,000? No, it's not like that. You get the first plaque that you get is for over 100,000 subscribers. The next plaque you get is for over 1 million subscribers. So it goes 100,000, 1 million, and then the next plaque you get from that is over 5 million subscribers. That's how it works. So anyone from 100,000 to 99.99 all got the same plaque. All got the same plaque. You got to get to over 1 million to get the gold plaque, and to get the diamond one. And diamond one, over 5 million. Over 5 million. Which channels like mine, I don't even know. Maybe New Rock Stars, Heavy Spoilers. Maybe I don't even think they're at 1 million, right? I don't even think New Rock Stars will probably be the only one. You know what I mean? But they're probably 700,000 and all that other stuff. It's hard to get there. You know what I mean? It's hard to get there to that million. I'm happy. The goal was to get the silver button. I got the silver button. Anything else would just be a cherry on top. I'm truly happy with the silver button, 100%. Obviously, we're not stopping. We take as many subscribers we can get, but you know what I mean. We are there. We're drinking M Light in the thug mug. tonight and everything else. That's what we're drinking. So again, you want to call me 518-290-0848. You got me just sitting here talking, not to myself, but you know that's what it seems like when I'm just talking to the camera. You know what I mean? Call me up, say hi to me and everything else. I truly would appreciate it and everything else like that. But yeah, to get other people and things like that, when you start getting people like that, you gotta start dealing with studios and everything else. You know, Heavy Spoilers got to 1 million. Wow, that's great for him. He get there. If I get to 1 million, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try my best. So again, real quick before we get right back into it, you may say, "Oh, Tony Teflon, you haven't dropped any new videos lately," and you're correct. I haven't dropped anything, new videos and stuff like that, right? But it's not that I don't want to drop the new video. Obviously, I was supposed to be covering the Dexter series and supposed to be doing that, but I don't want to cover it the exact same way I've been trying to cover it. So I'm trying to come up with a new way to present these videos. And I think I figured one out. So I'll be testing it out soon.
From
Egon Targaryen.
to accept, press 1.
What's going on, KP? You know who you rocking with.
Good evening, one and all. Good evening to you, Sir Mr. Tony Teflon, sir. The Don, the Big Dada, you know what I mean? And hello to everybody in the chat. I'm just now getting home. Me and the wife had a little date night, you know, went to the fancy little Chinese place, you know what I mean? So
yes.
we're gonna do some Chinese style married people stuff tonight.
Now,
Wow.
When you say Chinese food out there, you're in Trinidad and Tobago, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
It's not like a Chinese fast food place like out here in the United States, right? You don't mean that, right?
It's very, very similar.
Okay.
It's ridiculously similar.
All right.
Down to the Szechuan chicken.
Okay.
Like literally down to the Szechuan chicken. In fact, it's so weird because one of our favorite Chinese places, because I was born in Venezuela and she's born in Venezuela. I came here when I was like 3 or 4. She came when she was 14.
Okay.
Anyways, one of our favorite Chinese places is owned by a Venezuelan couple and is cooked by Venezuelans in a very Venezuelan way. And it just has Chinese sauces and meats around it. It sounds weird, right? But it's almost like Korean barbecue chicken, Korean barbecue and Korean fried chicken, where it's like it's fried chicken. It's definitely fried chicken, but it's definitely Korean as well.
Let me explain. Let me explain to you real quick about Korean fried chicken, real quick. All right. That's
tell me.
My stepfather Royce was in the war, and he told me straight up that Koreans ain't know nothing about no goddamn fried chicken. He said the reason why the Koreans know about fried chicken is because during the war, a lot of the black soldiers were getting with a lot of the Korean women there, and they taught them to make that fried chicken. And that's how they started making that fried chicken. So that fried chicken is FBA fried chicken, and Koreans learned it from black soldiers during the war. And then they took it like that. So that's what I have. He told me that, and I believe every word that man said. So
listen, I can believe it. I 100% believe it. You know what I mean? Because like you see those very odd yet amazing little mutations in food around the world. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of foods from West Africa that we have here in the Caribbean, and a lot of times we use the same word for them. And in some instances, they taste exactly the same, and in some instances, they taste totally different. But like that is definitely the same dish. You know what I mean? It's just we add 1 or 2 extra little things that makes it taste completely different. But you know. This is, and I don't know if I think I said Happy New Year to everybody. 2025 is shaping up to be a nice year. I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward most to dunk an egg, to be honest.
Okay.
Everything else has to take second place to dunk an egg. That's the real TV show I want to see this year. But on From, I I watched over the last 3 episodes last week, like over a couple of days last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I was surprised at how coherent the story was, especially in hindsight.
Okay.
Which is a complete 180 from the sensation you get when you watch Lost, either out of context or as like a binge without the cliffhangers in between. You know, like without the cliffhangers in between the episodes and between the seasons in Lost, it loses something. But with From, I think the very structure is put together so expertly well that it didn't matter who was directing it. It didn't matter who would have been acting it. And not to say that we don't have amazing directors and amazing actors. I mean, like the story was so well written that you could have put anybody on that stage. It would have gotten the same, very similar reception because it's a very nice tight circle. If they're going where we think they're going, it's a really nice tight circle. It's not compared to like the kind of looser circle that some of the Reddit theories and the Tarot Matru theories, which I like the theories. And I think those, if you wrote that book, I would love to read that book. But that is not this story.
Yeah, and I've told Taryn, and I told him when he came with the theories, and Taryn I consider a friend. I told him that his theories and his things are very amazing and very, but it's just too complicated for TV. And I told him,
yeah, man,
it's just too much. Again, when you make a television show, you have to make it. It can't be one thing that one person gets. It has to be something that everybody can understand.
This is how I think about TV, especially like Sunday night TV, because this is kind of what I used to see when I was growing up, with my mom and aunts and whatnot around. I would see a nurse, one of my aunts, most of my aunts were nurses. I would see a nurse getting home at 8:30 p.m. from a 12-hour shift that started 8 o'clock that morning, take a quick shower, dive into the couches of the sofa, and be able to just forget all the nonsense that happened to their job and watch Tony Soprano do his thing for an hour. Watch, Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad do his thing for an hour, etc., etc., etc. That, like, so when I think about From, it is complex enough that it keeps you engaged, but it's not overly complex that nurse who's coming home from that hectic shift will look at it and be like, what is this nonsense? What so doing that with that? And there, let me just watch something. I'm watching something else. It's just not as complex as that. Yeah, you're saying something to me?
Yeah, I when I describe From the people, I say it's like this, and it's the way I've done it. I say it's like a good bowl of cereal, right? Now, if you get to something like Severance, that's like a steak dinner, right? But you don't want a steak dinner. You don't want a steak dinner all the time. Not all the time. It's great when you have it. You don't want it all.
You just sort of like fill you up real quick.
Yes, but a good bowl of cereal, you can eat it in the morning, you can eat it in the afternoon, you can eat it at night, right? So I look at it like that. You can take this show and you can eat the show anytime you want. You can just sit back, you can watch it. You don't have to, you can pause it, you can go off for a little bit, come back, don't miss too much. Severance and like that Constellation show, that's like fine dining. Like you have to be attentive. every
Yes.
second of the show,
That was-
you'll miss something. And this is not a show. This is just
Exactly.
a good bowl of cereal. And I'll take a good bowl of cereal any day. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it.
Constellation was like a Michelin star restaurant that you have to go to a guy's house and get a key and then walk down an alley and knock 3 times on the door and do the right handshake. You know what I mean? That Constellation was that complex. It's fun. Like if you like that, because I like it, right? But I also could tell that 90% of the people, it's not that they wouldn't like it. It's just it would take up too much of their mental space for them to invest their downtime on something that requires so much from them mentally. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to save lives here during the day as doctors, nurses, whatever else you might be. Now I have to go and figure out like quantum theories and whatnot at night time when I'm trying to relax. Come on, that's so yeah, like that. I mean, obviously we're very excited for the 4th season. Obviously, you know, we're going to be watching some other things as well, and I'm glad that we're still on the Wednesdays and well, perhaps the Sundays as well. And you know, because I know we spoke about this, but we need to really solidify and concrete this down. Bringing back the After Dark, because you know I think 2025.
I promise we'll bring it back. I promise you. I promise.
Yeah. We'll have some good opportunities to do some After Darks in 2025. I think. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I think we're gonna need it in 2025. You know what I mean? I think we're going to have a lot of interesting things happening this year, good and bad. And we're going to need the escapism from these little TV shows. Because I tell you, I told my wife today, like apart from going out with my family and having like a dinner or going to like a salsa thing or whatever. Apart from that, like my second favorite thing to do is just to watch TV. I'm good. Like we could stay home and watch TV 3, 4, 5 weekends in a row, and I'll be completely fine. I had a really good fun child. I had a really good fun youth. You know what I mean? Like I had great college years. I went to school in university in London, then I went to university in Scotland, and then I went I went with my master's program in Miami. So I mean, I had a really good time. So now, like, it's good to just sit back and enjoy some TV. So Tony, like, and this is my last little thing here, and I'll be jumping out. I recently got a subscription. I always kind of had it, but I now started looking at my subscription to HBO Max, the Max platform. Not very much on there. I mean, you have your classic, like if you want your classic, Sunday night HBO TV from the last 25 years, that's there. Yeah, Sopranos is there, Game of Thrones is there. You know what I mean? Like that's there, but nothing else.
The Penguin,
you know what I mean?
The Penguin is probably the best show, amazing show. I mean, the Penguin is.
But Penguin is on HBO.
Yeah,
it's on HBO for regular. So you don't need the app for that. Although if you have HBO, I think you automatically get the app.
Huh?
I think if you have HBO, you automatically get the app as well, though. Like if you're paying your kids with HBO.
Good shows on HBO. I would say the Penguin's the best show HBO produced in a very long time.
Correct, 100%. And the first of all, for at least 3 or 4 episodes, I didn't know it was Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
like I legitimately.
You're straying, brother. The Last of Us is also a good show too. We stray. Let me let other people call in, my brother. I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, we're just talking shit. So I'm gonna pull up, go inside, put the TV on, watch you guys, and if something comes up, I might call back again.
Okay.
So everybody have a great night, and we'll keep it pimping later.
Right. All right, my brother. What up? We're here. It's not about the plaque tonight. We'll have that in a little bit and everything else and all that on a different stream and everything. But yeah, that definitely call in and definitely want to hear from you. And or like my sister Coley Cole is joined us in the chat. What's going on? Yeah, like listen, I will get back to the topic. I said, listen, I love a good stream. If I ever get a girlfriend, if ever someone looks at me and finds me attractive ever in my life, ever again, I would like nothing better than just to lay in bed and television show. This is spam coming in.
Julie B.
What's going on, spam caller? You rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, how are you, Julie?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Well, congratulations on finally getting that plaque. Well deserved. Well deserved. So happy for you. You worked so hard for this. I wish I'd been around. I wish I had found your channel sooner. I was hooked immediately when I found it almost a year ago. So
yeah, listen, there's people who find like Game of Thrones video of mine right now or theories and like, I had never heard of you. And I'm like, I was one of the first people who ever did this on YouTube. And it's funny that you've never heard of me. So, but that's what it is, right? That's the way it goes. So I'm glad you found me when you did. You know, everything happens in the time it's supposed to be.
I think so too, you know, and part of it is I never watched Game of Thrones, so you know I wouldn't have known. But then I found From, and you know you're like the king of From. I found your channel immediately, and I didn't start watching From till right when I found your channel. So yeah, and it came into my life. It's funny you say that, right when I needed it the most too. Like what an amazing community, and your community. I mean that you built. It's just the best. I think it's the best corner of the From fandom, the Familia. I mean, so many people found my channel because of yours, and nobody helped you like that when you were starting. But you turn around and you help people like me. It just shows what a great guy you are.
Well, thank you. Really. Well, I know what it's like starting the channel. I know what it's like, not needing a little guidance here and there, a push. Boost, anything, right? And again, I never got in all the years I've been, I never got anything like that. So I know what that feels like 100%. So I would never do that. I think it's more like, you know, it's kind of like our generation, right? Generation X, you know, our parents beat us. We didn't beat our kids, right? Because we know what that was. We went through it and stuff. We weren't going to keep that going, right? So I look at it like though the old school YouTubers back in the day, they weren't trying to help any other YouTubers. I'm going to break that trend, and I'm going to help anyone who asks me for help or doesn't ask me if they just want to listen, and I can give them any advice I can to break that trend and let people know that it doesn't matter that you cover the same things. Fandom is a fandom, and there's enough for everybody. There's enough for everyone to be a part of it. You don't have to be number one, number two. It's not about that. It's more about the people that we're trying to service on YouTube and give them content. And you can't make all the content yourself. So it's always good to get people in there that do the same thing you do, and it keeps the fandom alive. The more YouTubers we have doing the same thing, the bigger the fandom's going to grow. And eventually, if we could all cross-pollinate, and all just eat off of that. And that's the way I've always looked at it. But a lot of YouTubers, when I was coming up and everything else, didn't look at it like that. It was like, you either watch mine. If you watch mine, you're never going to watch theirs, and yada, yada, yada. It's bullshit like that. So I try to get away from all that.
Well, I can't thank you enough, really, for having that attitude, because not everybody would be like that. I mean, some people have this mentality where if they feel like, oh, I had to do it this way, I had to do this on my own, I didn't have help, I had to struggle this much, so everyone else should have to also. And so they don't want to do that. You know, they climb the ladder and they pull the ladder up after them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
I feel saying a lot of people are like that, and to me, that's wrong. It's not the way it should be, and I understand that people like, listen, I worked this hard. You know, to me, those are like our grandparents and parents. I walked in the snow 5 miles to go to school. 5 miles I walked in the snow to go to school. Just because you did it, granddaddy, don't mean I gotta. That don't mean I gotta do it because you did it, granddaddy. You know, it's that mentality, right? And I ain't about that mentality at all. I ain't about that.
100%. Oh my God, I couldn't have said it better. That's the perfect example. Those are the older generation's mentality. Yes, you nailed it. But yeah, no, we need to have a different way, a different mentality of, you have like I know how it feels. If I know how it feels to struggle, that means I want to turn around and help people in the way that I wish I had been helped. I feel the same way as you. So, yeah. So I appreciate everything that you've done. You've been a great friend and an amazing supporter of my channel, and your channel is just it's just a juggernaut. It's amazing. I was so happy when I saw it hit 100K, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I had to DM you, and then and the funniest shit was that you didn't know.
No, I had no
you
idea.
didn't know. You woke up right in the middle of the night and saw my DM, and that's how you found out.
That's 100% right. I had no idea. I was sleeping. I woke up and I looked at my text. I said, Julie B hit me up, and she's like, "You hit 100,000." I was like, "Did I really?" And then I looked. And I said, "Holy shit, I did." I really did. I really did. And yeah, you were the one who alerted me on that. I had no idea at all. So no, it was great hearing it from you, and so happy to accomplish this goal. And again, like, so it's not even like though it's my name on this channel, and I've done a lot. I'm not even going to take anything away from what I did, but there are a lot of people who I worked with when it first started. And those guys like James Johnson and Charlie Westeros and T-Baby and all, like, they could have done it. Like, I know they were big. They had it. But, a lot of them, Charlie Westeros is a lawyer now. James of Thrones is a lawyer. Life stopped that drive and they went on to do better things. So I felt like in Don Willie and JD the Dragon and all these people, like, I felt like I had to do it for all of us. You know what I mean? I had to get that done for us to get this done. And so it was like more of a drive, and like, I need, because this is our clique. You know what I mean? And the people who came up and, people's lives got in the way and they had to stop and everything else. And they could have done it if they would have kept driving. I was like, I got to be the one to get this done, to represent all of us for getting this done. So, because they could have done it easily. I know they could have done it too. But listen, you're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be these things. They wanted to be big things, have families and everything else. And I just had the time to do it. So I just like, I'm going to keep on for all of us. And we got it.
Nice. That's awesome, Tony. Yeah. And I think it's hilarious that you didn't know until I told you too. I was happy I got to be the one to break the news to you. Christmas, it was technically Christmas already. It was, Christmas Eve, but it was like Christmas when you got the news. So what a Christmas present. One hell of a Christmas present, and you deserve it. And yeah, I think you can only go up further from here too.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Listen, MGM, I don't know if y'all people see it, so I'll say it now. Julie's on the phone. MGM's got a new show coming out soon. It's Frumish. It's Frumish. I don't exactly know the name. It's like 9 Murders in Mexico or something of that title. If y'all could look it up or something like that, look like MGM 9 Murders. They released a trailer for it. There's a trailer, I think, out there for it. And it's Frumish. It's people stuck in this spot and they don't know how they got there. They don't give you a lot in this trailer. It's a very short teaser, but it's Frumish. All right. So I think anyone who watches From or anything might be interested in this show also. So awesome. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, not too long and everything, but hopefully it's the next From. Hopefully it can keep the From family going when this goes off the air. That one is still turning up and stuff.
Oh yeah. There's something about these shows that are about trapped people in mysterious circumstances trying to escape. It's something that hooks you in, that concept.
Yeah,
And
Nick Nat
any
Studios
show
got it.
like that.
9 Bodies in the Mexican Morgue. Yeah, it's a crazy title. But if y'all go
Yeah.
look at that and everything else, y'all see that is what it is. 9 Bodies in the Mexican Morgue. It's a thriller series and everything else and all that. But yeah, it's supposed to be like the cast is David Alj. He's a very good actor. He's in there. Adam Long, Lisa. Lisa, we never heard of them. But David Alj, I definitely heard of. And everything, and everything. It's just 31 seconds for the clip. I'll do a video on the clip breakdown. I can't really break it down because we don't know nothing about it, but it seems to be good, right? It could be good. And again, no one knew what From would be when I first started covering From. No one knew what it would be. No one knew that it was going to be what it was. So it comes down to the fandom and stuff and making stuff big and everything else like that. So yeah, 9 Bodies in the Mexican Morgue. You know, I'll do a video for the 30-minute trailer to get everyone interested in it and everything else. And you know, we'll be covering that. Now we'll be definitely covering that when it comes on and stuff. And hopefully it did. And you know, MGM and these fucking names, they don't get these names good.
No, they don't. They don't.
9 Bodies in Mexican Morgue. I gotta put all that in the fucking title of the video, bro. Give me, call it 9 Bodies. All right.
And what the hell? Seriously. Yeah, come on, MGM. What the hell? Like that? No, that's another. So you know, you go from a vague ass title like From to then this big mouthful of word salad. It's too much. But
them and their damn titles are just too crazy. They gotta just make better titles. It's called 9 Bodies. You don't have to go through in the Mexican morgue. All right, just 9 bodies. We get with 9 bodies. We'll find out that they're in the Mexican morgue. All right, we can figure that out ourselves. You don't have to.
Right.
You know.
Maybe they thought
9 bodies in the Mexican morgue on a hot day at 2:30 a.m. You don't have to do all that.
Right? Like maybe they thought, okay, well, you know, damn, you know, we got to learn from our mistake. From was too vague. We got to go real laser specific. So yeah, like here you go. No. You're doing too much now.
Yeah,
too much.
Too much with this.
Yeah,
I agree. 100%.
But it would be great if we could get another show to get the fandom all together on, because I've thought about this too. You know, what happens when From ends? It's going to end before too long. You know, if we're lucky, we get 2 more seasons.
Yeah, I think 5 seasons. They'll wrap in 5 seasons. You always got to have the next thing. And this is, if you watch that trailer, you will see that it is From like before this stream ends, I'll play the trailer. I'll pull the trailer up and I'll play the trailer for y'all. So y'all can see that it is From-esque. You know what I mean? And
nice, because
that way you can understand.
We need that. We need that, because honestly, as much as I love the show, I mean, this may sound weird, but if From had been canceled, if it didn't get a season 4, I would have been the saddest about losing the fandom, losing this community, rather than the show. Like, the community is it's just incredible. I've never been a part of a fandom like this. It's amazing. It's just full of kind, awesome people, and so we gotta find another show to unite around. We can't lose this community when From is over. And you helped build this fandom from the ground up.
I appreciate it. I did my best to build this fandom. I do think I have built this fandom pretty good. But you know, I appreciate the recognition of that. A lot of people don't want to say that and stuff, you know, they don't, but I do appreciate the recognition of that, what I've done for that. And you know, the fandom built me to 100,000. So it's one hand shakes the other, right?
Yep. Yeah. You couldn't have said it better. Like, the fandom helped build you up, and you built the fandom up. So honestly, MGM should be cutting you a check, because like you've really been doing them a solid for years.
Yeah, I agree that MGM needs to come out their pockets a little bit for the Don. I mean, come on, you know, show brother some love. Come out the pockets a little. You know what I mean? I'll become an MGM only. I'll do every show you
Right?
want. You pay me. I won't do any show unless it comes up at MGM. And if you pay
Seriously.
me, listen, I'm a capitalist, and I ain't getting any younger. So listen, y'all want to
Right?
I'll do nothing but promote your channel.
Hell yeah! You keep people hyped about From year round. You're doing them a solid. So yeah, you should be on their payroll at this point. You should have been from the beginning, really. But anyway, I just wanted to call and say congratulations, Tony, and yeah, you're just going to keep on growing from here. I mean, I can only imagine where you're going to be when From season 4 comes. Like you're just going to keep on growing this channel. I know it, and you deserve it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Julie. I truly appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, Tony. You have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
All right, bye. That's Julie B. Let me see. Let me see something real quick. I gotta stop the screen. 1 second. We'll take calls in 1 second. I'm going to show you this video. They ain't getting no views on it at all. They ain't getting nothing on it. The views is like 600, right? So they ain't getting in 2 days. So it's not getting no buzz. But let's look at the trailer real quick.
I hate flying in a little plane like this.
Mayday, no fuel.
Got any signal? No.
Do you have any idea where we are?
Middle of nowhere. We may be in more trouble.
Help me!
He's gone.
What's happening here?
One of us is a killer.
How long do you think we're going to be out here for?
So who's going to be next?
That's it. We're running back. It was real fast. Let's run it back real quick.
I hate flying in a little plane like this.
Mayday, no fuel.
Got any signal? No.
Do you have any idea where we are?
Middle of nowhere. We may be in more trouble.
Help me!
He's gone.
What's happening here?
One of us is a killer.
How long do you think we're going to be out here for?
So who's going to be next?
And that is 9 bodies in the Mexican war.
The new $7 Lux.
All right there. That is it. Again, look at that. Phil the Issues guy. When did you get here?
Hey, hi, it's Smiley. It's not Phil the Issues guy. It's Smiley, baby, inside of Fatima's belly.
No, hey Tony, how's it going?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just getting home. Figured I'd pop on for the last half an hour.
I appreciate it. I truly do. I'm over here dying without you, bro.
No. You're fine. I was listening to you on the way home.
And everything else. Yeah, so that's 9 bodies, and you seen the trailer, right, Phil?
I just did.
I just played it.
Yeah, I just did. It's definitely what you were saying with Julie. It has that. I don't know if it's the way they're cutting the trailer, but they're definitely being like, from fans, look, where these people are lost. These people are stuck here. But then they're adding the murder mystery element to it as well, which could create some real fun. I mean, I think that's the thing, Tony. I was going to talk to you about this off air. I mean, I am excited to talk about popular shows. Shows like Severance is a great example, and I'm psyched to hear Julie cover Severance. I'm sure we'll talk about it around there. Everyone and their goddamn mother is going to be covering Severance this year. I like getting in on shows that no one's ever heard of, and then talking about them and getting in on the ground floor of them. Because then when the more seasons go on and everyone piles on, you're already in there, so you kind of fit into the algorithm bullcrap. So shows like this is important, and this is. I mean, you have many talents, but you're like the Aladdin thing. You're finding the diamonds in the rough. You pick the good shows. I never would have heard of Mayor of Easttown or From if it wasn't for you. Just shows that, like, I feel like for me, anyways, you put those shows on the map. So I count on you to kind of. And that doesn't mean I like everything. I wasn't so. I never connected with Outer Range. I'm not saying I'm season 2 is a lot better than season 1, but season
So
1,
much better season 2 was.
so I did finally watch season
Like
2.
if they would have canceled it in season 1, I would understand. But after season 2 to cancel it didn't make sense.
Yeah, season 1 was a convoluted mess. But what do you call it? You mentioned it earlier, the sci-fi one with the Avatar thing.
Constellation.
Yeah, I really liked Constellation, and Constellation.
And I like the Peripheral too.
Oh yeah, Peripheral was even better. I was confusing the two. Peripheral was probably my favorite of them. It wasn't the best. It had a little bit of I don't know, a 90s drama soap opera vibe to it a little bit, but I still really liked it. My problem was I think it was the Tom and Jerry movie. That actress, that was her big star maker role, and that movie was a turd sandwich. So it didn't really make her. But yeah, Outer Range was, the first season was. And I know some people will think of this as a compliment, but it was too the bad side of Twin Peaks for me, not the good side of Twin Peaks. I don't know. Tony, did you ever get into the Twin Peaks?
I think what happened was they found their footing in season 2. And like I think they were really trying to go too Yellowstone-ish, and they wanted to attract that audience so bad that they didn't do the other parts justice from it. But they explained it so much better in the second season.
Yes.
That if the second season was the first season, I don't think it would have ever got canceled.
Now, Tony, I would consider right now on television, we have a big 3 for these kind of shows. 2 of them get talked about a lot. One I don't think has been mentioned. You and I can't remember ever talking to you about it, but I think you watch it as well. We got Severance, and whether Severance is as you were describing earlier, or when KP was on, like the expensive meal, or the thing and from sort of like an everyday snack. Then we have probably the middle of both of those with Yellow Jackets. I mean, and Yellow Jackets is another show I'm very much looking forward to this season. And they had season 1 was great. Season 2 wasn't as great as season 1, but still kind of grabbed me. Season 3 is sort of make or break for this show, I think, to see if this is going to be a classic or this is going to be something that sort of spins out. But Yellow Jackets is a show that not a lot of people are talking about, but is also coming back this year. And I'm very excited for Yellow Jackets. And I'm
with you 100%. I think it is in the middle of both of those, because it's a more show that you have to pay a little bit more attention to, but not as much as you would have to in a show like Severance. Yellow Jackets season 1 was just a groundbreaking, amazing show, especially because of Christina Ricci. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, she's amazing.
Stole the whole show.
Yeah, I agree.
Even stole it in the second season too.
She's the best part of the show. Yeah.
But the season 2 again, getting away from what people really liked about the show, and I think they have to do a little bit more of the flashbacks back. Like if you're gonna have like the whole community talking about who is the Antler Queen, you can't drag that out for 2 seasons, right?
Yes.
You need to get that on the next season, right? If people are really trying to figure something out, grasp that the fandom is on to that. Take a hold of that and pay that off. Don't keep waiting to drag that out. And
too much time on the hippie farm too. Like too much time.
That was too much. I think people like the flashbacks more than the normal times, right? So I think you have to focus more on the flashbacks. To me, I was more interested in what's going on in the island. I want to see more of that stuff. You know what I mean? When these chicks is high on mushrooms, chasing this dude howling like a wolf, and he's scared for his life. I like that.
That's like what I'm like watching something I've never seen before. You're like, what the hell is this? But yeah, I do think it fits perfectly into those 3. I feel like those are the big 3 sort of mystery box shows out right now, and we're at a sort of golden age of them if we really stop and pause and think about it. I mean, we've lost a couple along the way. Outer Range season 2 was really good. Someone in the live chat saying they're still waiting for your breakdowns of it. And then Peripheral was good. All these shows were good, but I think these are the 3 that sort of stuck. And I'm excited to see how all 3 of them sort of pan out. And I hope all 3 of them get to conclude their stories the way they want. I would say I think Severance is the best, but From is my favorite. But I don't know if that makes sense. It's like I think Led Zeppelin's the greatest rock band of all time, but Pink Floyd's my favorite. Like there's certain people you can be like, that person's most talented at something, or that's the most tight around the margins. But obviously, as well, we have to see how Severance season 2 does. But I would say Mom is my
things
favorite.
connect with you, right? So you could say that Michael Jackson or Prince is better than the other, but if you connect more to one of their music, then that's your favorite. Doesn't mean other person. I mean, look, Stevie Wonder is probably the greatest singer, producer, musician, composer of all time, whoever came out in this business. But you may connect more with Michael Jackson or Prince. Doesn't mean Stevie ain't Stevie.
Yep.
It's just who he is and stuff. So let me say a couple of things here. Someone said murder dirter. Me murder my dirter. You murdered my dirter. Did you murder my dirter? And that's from Mayor of Easttown, if people don't know. TJ is saying Tony wants a harem. I don't. I just want a girlfriend to love me. I don't need a million women. I just need one woman to love me who has a fairly round booty. That's all I'm asking. Not more than that. Saggy Star
and let her have a cousin for me too. Come on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Saggy Star says, Tony, my mom loved your book. She said she can't wait for more. You were. Thank you so much. So your mom, I said thank you very much, Saggy Star. I truly appreciate it. We'll get working on that book as soon as we can. As soon as we can, we'll start working on part 2 of that story.
There's also, speaking of shows we're looking forward to next year, a show I'm excited to cover on my channel, and hopefully Tony will jump over. I can't even say what the name of it is, but it will be out this year. I'm forgetting the name, but it's Vince Gilligan's new show starring Ray Seahorn, Kim Wexler from Better Call Saul. It's going to be on Apple Plus. I know
what you're talking about too. I don't know names either, but I know this show.
I had it written down somewhere, but it's coming out this year, and I have no clue what the hell it's going to be about. It's referred to as Twilight Zone X-Files ish. But optimistic. There are no drug. The only thing he's really said is there's no drug dealing and bad people in this. It's a show about good stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. And I'll keep an eye on that show as well, Tony.
I wonder if they're gonna go to the foot fetish community, who is all on like Ray Seahorn.
Maybe. Do you think he might lean into that at this point?
Yeah. Well, listen, that became a huge part of her fan base, and I think that
Tony, I'm surprised.
We can't lie about this. There's people who like that shit.
We need the House of Dragon crossover.
That's a lot of people there, right?
We need the House of the Dragon crossover, Tony. We need Loris from House of the Dragon.
And they would all talked about when I would see on Twitter and everything else is people showing her, because I guess she had her shoes off in Better Call Saul all the time.
Yeah, she stretched her feet a lot.
So people maybe maybe the showrunners had her do it.
This just in. Ray Seahorn cast in every Quentin Tarantino movie from now until he retires. we just got a report. I just got. You
gotta lean into your fan base. I seen this Netflix show about this bodybuilder woman who got like accused of murder and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she would go over like guys' houses and like wrestle with them and stuff like that. And when the chips were down for her, it was those fans that came to her rescue.
Yeah,
those fans who liked them wrestling that donated money to her, but I had her back the whole time. It was that fan base that was on there with her. You know what I mean? So lean into whatever fandom you got. If some dude's digging you for that, take the dig.
Now, Tony, just to circle this back into the topic of this video, because I know someone's out there screaming, why aren't you talking about Tabitha? I think Tabitha's plan for next season is to say, no, stop, Jade, no, I don't know, no, stop. That's Tabitha's plan for next season.
But I think they're going to have her hook up with Jade and have sex with Jade?
Not next year, but I do think by the end of the series, they will have some sort of intertwined relationship. The actors... I think it's one of those things that even if they didn't have it planned, Tony, the actors have so much chemistry on screen together. I think it's just going to naturally evolve into that. But I don't know if romance is this show's number one prerogative. We haven't really seen them go too far down those roads. Romance is more of just an afterthought. It's not too soap opera, which I like, but I do think they're going to have a very intimate relationship. And I don't think that.
Basically, he's going to move into Kenny's house with her.
Yeah, they're going to become very close. I don't think that we're going to have scenes with them staring at each other in the moonlight and sleeping together, but I think they're going to be intertwined in life.
You're going to see Jade wake up from the bed, and you know what happened.
Maybe. Yeah, I just don't think they're going to focus on it too much.
Yeah, because listen, you got we seen what happened with G. He got caught in them blankets, Jim. His foot was stuck; he couldn't get out, but he tried to snatch. I don't know why they used that cut because he definitely got stuck in them sheets. You might see him in bed there with her, and she's out there and everything else like that. They haven't focused on anything like that. I don't think they go into a whole sex scene. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think the closest thing we got was Christy in the Flashdance shirt.
Oh, I guess the closest thing we got, Tony, was our man Porn Stash and Molly.
Yeah, porn stash, and Christy in the Flashdance shirt.
Yeah, Christy in the Flashdance stuff.
She looked amazing in the Flash.
And
Next time I interview her, I'm going to talk to her about that damn Flashdance shirt. I'm going to talk to her because she looked good in that damn Flashdance shirt. She did a good job in that stuff, So, I don't think they focused on it, which but I think I think if they do go that route with it, it's just going to be hard for me to see, especially if we're going through this is picking up immediately after of these children actually accepting their mom with another person that fast.
Yeah, especially if they don't skip time, unless we do get there's no reason to think we will get it, but maybe to deal with the Ethan situation time jump, then maybe it might be something different. But if this is days after, we can't. That's not going to happen. We're just not going to see that at this point.
Yeah, let's focus it a little bit more say Walking Dead, right? Because it's similar to that. Even if you want to go to Lost, more about Lost than me. I didn't see the whole thing yet. Did they have any type of sex scenes in Lost?
Yes, a lot.
Did they have sex scenes in The Walking Dead?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
All right. So you think that they did it there? The problem to me
is Tony, just to defeat that whole point right there. Both those shows are way more mainstream, hit kind of network shows, even though AMC's cable network, but it's still network, still television, cable television. Lost From is a little bit more, I don't know. Both those shows sort of leaned more into the soap opera than From does, but yeah, both those shows have had explicit sexual relationships or dynamics to it. Even The Walking Dead starts out with kind of a love triangle between Rick and Shane and Lori, and then Rick's kid isn't really Rick's kid, it's Shane's, and then there was a character on Lost named Kate with Jack and Sawyer, and then Saeed with Shannon, and Charlie with Claire. The Lost was definitely Saved by the Bell a little bit with that stuff.
Yeah, Glue Guns and Roses said I think we'll get some Jane Austen type sexual tension from Jade and Tabitha.
Yes,
very PG. And then she follows it up with saying, yes, more sex in the earlier seasons of Walking Dead when it was 2010. That's what got viewers back then. Yeah, so that Game of Thrones ish era, 100%. You had to have that. I know people personally who, I told them about, I said, hey, is it going to be some House of Dragons coming out? And he's like, oh, never heard of that. Is it going to be some sex in it? And that was what they were focused on. That's what it was. So that's what they thought of that show more than anything. They watched it for that.
Tony, the wonderful thespian Ian McShane once said, "Oh yeah, I'm on the Game of Thrones show. It's that show with the boobs and the dragons." And then he spoiled that the mountain was coming back. He says, "Yes, I'm in a scene with the mountain. He's back, and there's boobs and dragons in this episode too." Tits and dragons.
Shaggy Star is putting us out there. Jade is gay. Y'all crazy. I don't think there's any chemistry between them. Y'all be true. Listen, I would not say that he's not.
He's pansexual, if anything. He does.
I would not say that his character of Jade is not gay. I would not say if him and Toby were getting it on, right, and they were playing Roots before they got there.
Yeah, I say Jade does not if Jade does anything, he just fucks everybody. He's not discriminating.
I mean, if I would not be surprised if he is, or if he isn't. You know what I mean? I think go either way, but
he goes to Rays and takes ecstasy in Molly.
It depends how you want. If you want to do a Hawk girl situation, if it's the same two people who had a kid together and they've been coming back all the time, as these people, you would think like Hawkman and Hawkgirl that they're going to be attracted to each other in each time period, that they're always going to be attracted. Now, we don't have any, we don't have any proof really that Christopher was with Miranda, right?
No, just that they were close. And I think that's one of the things that I hope we get away from in some television media type stuff, is that a connection necessarily always has to be romantic, because in these kind of things, you can have friendship connections, like, you know, when you're like the Goonies and shit, like, you know, all these dudes coming together to solve a mystery, you know, like if they met in another timeline, you know, all the Goonies came back again to solve another mystery. So it could be that they're just really close, you know, Tony.
All right, so someone just tried to call me. 330, is that KP?
No, KP is, I think KP is 860.
All right, so can you put your phone line on?
I don't have it on right now, but I can put it on for the last 20 minutes.
So 330, you just called in. Let's call back. We're going to use Phil's phone line. We're not going to use the Temu phone line that I use.
Oh, come on.
We're gonna use the full the full flash.
Your line's not Temu. Give me a second.
It is Temu. If you can't hear it and I can, that's Temu, bro. And everything.
It's limited. That's all it is. You know, it's a little bit.
People say that there's no connection, sexual tension between Jade and Tabitha are bugging. If you look the way that man played with Ethan and was there with Ethan, he did more than Ethan's father did, right? There's no doubt that they were setting that up, and that's why they had him there sitting at the table with him and doing that. They're setting that whole thing up without a shadow of a doubt. So there's no doubt that they definitely are going for them to have. And again, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, they die all the time, but they always come back together eventually because they love each other. It could be a same situation. I would think that that's what they're going for here. With Tabitha and Jade. So without a doubt, to me, I think that they're trying to set up some type of love connection. Now, whether it follows through, it could be a situation. Listen, and let's get it popping real quick right now. You know what I mean? If they do escape together, Jade is rich. All right, this is a big come up for Tabitha. I mean, her man was making roller coasters, right?
I mean, he's where he gets the Disney World stuff. You know, that's no like.
Yeah, I mean, he may make a little bank on roller coasters, but this is a big come up for us. She talk about a guy who made. He said what a crazy amount of money he sold the algorithm for.
Yes.
Well, it's a big come up for him and the family. Like they all gonna upgrade their lifestyle together. She fucking with Jade. That lifestyle is way up. Right, she all the way up there.
Yes.
It's like Jim's body ain't even cold yet. No one cares about Jim's body being cold. No one cares about that, right? No one cares about that. Listen, Jim's body may be cold, but Tabitha's body's hot as a motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you, I've seen it. That body is smoking, and life goes on. Life goes on. You can't board forever. You can't. They was about to get a divorce too. You know what I mean? So them setting up that divorce already meant the love was gone. Right? Love was already gone. You know, it was gone. They were only together the time they were together because they were in the situation that they were in. If they weren't in that situation, it would have been done.
Yeah, wasn't it sort of like a goodbye trip?
Yeah, that was it. The goodbye trip. You know what I'm saying?
Which is goodbye trip.
Just to break it to the kids. We're gonna go on this one trip and break it to the kids. When you do that, that means it's done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all been done, and now we're just gonna break it to the kids that it's over, right? So it's already been done. Jim was just trying to lock it down because he looked around at the prospects there, and he said, "I got the hottest chick in here. I'm not gonna lose this shit right now. I can't have that. I can't have her live in a colony house. I can't have that. I've seen the pickings at Colony House, all right? All right. I've seen those pickings there. And that, you know, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit at Colony House. I will say.
It's a future porn stash in the making.
Yeah. Jim is porn stash reincarnated.
He is. It's like on a different timeline. You know what I mean?
Jim is porn stash reincarnated.
Porn stash 2.0, dude. Totally.
I mean, I'll be honest. I ain't tried this nobody. I'm saying there's beautiful women on this set, but from what we've seen in Colony House, that's plenty of fish material out there, right? I mean, that's a plenty of fish dating service in Colony House right now. I mean, that's what it looked like. I mean, not all of them. I mean, that chick who got killed first, that chick was smoking. What was her name, Phil? The first chick who got killed?
I know who you're talking about, but I do not know her name.
That chick I'll ride you like an alabaster dragon. That chick right there. That chick was fire. I mean, that they know that chick was fire. I mean, and this and the other chick they had when they did the investigation with that one guy, she wasn't bad herself. Trudy, yes, Trudy, you're correct. Trudy was fire. Trudy was fire. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of chicks in there who are just matchsticks.
Okay, area code 330. I've got it hooked up right now. Sorry,
my 330. You want to call back? Call the Field Issues Guide number. Please put that in the chat for 330.
Oh, they already called a couple of times. I just didn't have it set up yet.
All right, and all that. So yeah, yeah. Trudy should have not got. They should have kept Trudy with the booty there. Is that me or you?
That's me.
All right.
Welcome 330.
What's going on? This Rebel calling back. Hey, what's going on, Uncle Phil? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Come on in.
Hey, I just had a quick something I wanted to say about Severance. Is that all right?
Please.
Yep. Good. I go to the bathroom.
I just binge watched it for like 2 days, right? So I just wanted to get something out since it's like kind of fresh in my head. So what did y'all think they was gonna like their lives was gonna be after they went out, after they hit the switch, after they was outside of the job? Because I thought the girl was gonna be like she was like a sex slave or something. I thought what's his name? Irvin,
yeah.
I thought he was gonna be like a serial killer, rapist or something. So, but we already kind of knew what Mark was gonna be. So, what did y'all think they was gonna be? I was kind of surprised.
That's an interesting question. Like that's something you sort of like wondered through the whole thing. I didn't really project what I thought they were going to be, but I definitely thought Irving was something weird as well. I think that's some of the most amazing part of that show, like the mystery that it goes between those two things. Tony, did you have any projections when you were watching Severance about that? Like what you thought each person was going to be?
I went to the bathroom. Can you say it again? Whatever the question was.
I was saying, what did you think that? Like, I thought that the characters once we found out what they did outside the job, like I thought the girl was gonna be like she was like stuck as a sex slave or something. I thought Irvin was gonna be like a serial killer, rapist or something. What did you think they was gonna be? Because I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I didn't think they would go that far with it. Of them being out there. Again, when I look at Severance and I look at what's going on out there and the whole thing of what it's actually trying to build towards, I would say that it's more of a takeover type situation that the company is trying to influence government officials eventually and influence and take over the world with this program. Because once you can get this whole severed nation going in every country, then you can take over basically the world. Because even if you do the severance,
that's scary.
You could say like,
do you think it's alien tech?
That's good.
I wish I could say
it could possibly be, right? I mean,
I wish I could say
they acting really weird, man. This show is crazy.
It is. I wish I could say. I just think it's more corporate. agreed, and when it's all said and done, that they plan on spreading it to all of these, not to the officials in Congress and things like that. Because if you could
when
do
they
that,
start bringing when they get the Congress and stuff, I kind of figured it was like it's gonna be bigger because they could, man. It's probably a lot of people getting severance. Just everyday people.
Yeah.
Like,
this because you could do that.
Because like with the girl being the daughter and all of that, I did not see that coming. Like, I didn't. I thought she was like living a terrible life or something. Like she was getting beat on by her husband or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what made the twist good, right? You weren't supposed to think that she was
right.
related to the people in there at all at any point, and they didn't give anything like that away when it all went away.
No, they didn't.
So listen, I look forward. I know people have already gotten.
One thing, man. We don't need no section from, man. We don't want to see no monster bunkies. None of that stuff, man. You stay away from the monster bunkies. You already got enough with Smiley.
All right.
But yeah, I just wanted to get y'all opinion on Severance since it was kind of fresh in my brain after I just kind of watched it.
Yeah, no, we'll be covering it as soon as it drops, and we'll do a stream for it and everything else and all that.
Yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board with that one. All right, thanks, guys. Uncle Phil, see you, man.
See you later, my nephew.
Listen, Monster Pizza.
Nephew Eric.
It depends what pizza it was. I wouldn't mind looking at at Jasmine. Would have been fine for me. That would have worked. That would have worked. They could have pulled that off instead of Smiley. Should have gave that role to Jasmine. 100%. Yeah, Severance will be fun. We'll cover Severance, and obviously Dunk and Egg when it drops and everything else. You know what I mean? We'll do all that. We'll have that going. Silo. Someone mentioned. So I wanted to cover Silo. It just didn't. The timing just wasn't right for Silo. It's hard for me, Ports, to because I know so many, because it's a book series, and I see these guys out here coming up with these theories on YouTube about it that obviously read
the book
and know exactly what's going to happen. So it's like, I don't know. Like,
no, it's similar with like the Last of Us stuff, and Joe and I will be doing the Last of Us in April, and Tony's welcome to join us on Sundays for that if he wants to. But it's everyone kind of knows what's going to happen there, so it's like the Game of Thrones vibe anymore, having to fight spoilers and do all that sort of stuff. It's unique challenges, but KP, welcome back to the show.
Good evening, everybody. I had to call back. And let me tell you why I had to call back. I had to call back because when I was like 24, I used to work with a woman by the name of Wendy Fitzwilliam. She was Miss Universe 1996, I think. From Trinidad, absolutely gorgeous, 6'2". Oh my!
Oh, excuse me, I have to pick up this name that KP was dropping. Excuse me.
Even with that, we remained nothing more than friends. And I say that to say this: I think it would be so friggin' lazy for them to just couple Jade and Tabitha together as an icon without any kind of real significant purpose behind it, just because like they're both lonely or whatever. I think it's cliche, and it would be disappointing to see them just kind of take that path easier travel. Does that make sense to you guys? Am I making any sense there, or am I totally off base?
I mean, I think you make sense in the sense that like what I was saying earlier, it's easy to do that romantic pairing and stuff. I I don't think they're going to go too simple there, but it's hard to ignore the fact that the actors definitely do have some sort of chemistry. But I get what you're saying, KP.
Well, good. I'm glad you. I'm glad I don't sound like a crazy person, because
not on
a
this
lot of stuff about our friend Tabitha is very, very like suspect to me. So I hope we actually get some. I hope we get some answers about Tabitha and like and the mechanism by which these people are able to transmit themselves through various bodies in time. That's something that I don't know if they're going to go into detail on that, but that's something that will be interesting to understand. I had like a real interesting theory that I mean, but it's right on all things, but I had a theory that the individuals that took up the roles of, you know, Tabitha and Tabitha's first person, Miranda, and whomever else, I had this idea that it's only when they get to the from town and it's only when they pass that, you know, that finish line that gets them into from town where they are anointed, per se, with being the new version of Miranda, the new version of Charles or Christopher or whoever else. Does that make any sense to you guys, Tony? To you guys? So
I hear what you're saying.
It's embedded in their DNA that, you know, no matter what, they're going to go to this town and be this person's next life. So that's my quick little question.
Yeah, again, it comes down if they're doing the Hawkman, Hawkgirl situation where they're reincarnated and everything else. Like you would have to think that Tabitha, I mean Miranda, and the puppet dude Christopher knew at the time. Like we're not sure if they knew, but if you look at the way Victor talked about him, it's almost similar to the way we see now Jade reacting to Tabitha's kid, right? Oh, he was a fun guy. He hung around and made everybody laugh. And now we see that Jade is, you know, interacting with Ethan and stuff. And Jade also was, you know, a really
realized his part, and he realized his part, and he's kind of inundated and taken aback by it. That to the point where it almost caused them to lose his entire personality. Is that what you're saying, Tony?
Yeah, I'm saying like subconsciously, eventually, that they get led back to each other in some way.
No, yeah, like that. I think that'll be the most interesting thing about season 4, seeing how they link these characters who are actually the same spirit in different bodies. It'll be interesting to see the through line between all these different people, you know. That'll be. Wait, Phil, are you playing a steel pan there?
Phil,
are you playing that for real, or are you playing a record?
I was playing it for real for you. I figured it was appropriate for your call.
You know that the steel pan comes from my island, right? You know that, right?
Yes, one of my side jobs is I go to kids and I teach them about music, and we say that the steel pan was invented in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, every time I see people play it, I have to tell them, you know, we like to brag around here about these things. All right, guys, it was nice chatting. I'll be in the chat causing problems as usual. So I'll keep watching you on the TV. Have a good night.
Good night, KP.
And that was a great KP. That was a great KP as always. That was a great KP as always and stuff. Again, before we wrap it up, again, you know, let me, as always, let me grab the Plizac. I want to thank everybody for who helped the Don Tony Teflon, you know, achieve this milestone. And Phil will tell you how long. Like it shouldn't even be called a milestone, or at least because this is like a lifetime situation, right? Of getting this plaque, you know. Back when, you know, before, sorry, they were much bigger. Nowadays they made them small, but it's fine. Still means the same thing. Right. And again, we'll do the 100,000 live stream, and we will wax poetic about it then, and we'll reminisce of the times of coming up to this to get this plaque. And then make sure if you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and everything else.
People keep seeing a woman in the reflection. I think what you're seeing is Acosta in the reflection.
Is that what they're seeing?
I think so, unless you have a woman tied up there somewhere.
No. It's the screen of the camera.
Yeah, I think it's somehow catching occasionally. You see Acosta going through there.
I'm trying to make it catch it right now for you, but yeah, it's just the screen and stuff in there. But again, someone told me to put it on her if she could hold it for me. I try to put it on there for her. Try to make her hold it for me. But listen, again, in the end, we're gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? We're gonna definitely talk about it and everything else, and go through everything. And it's so funny right now, Phil. I'm having a deja vu situation. Like this has happened before, which is very weird because it didn't. But I really felt it right now. I felt like I've held this here before at this particular time. Glitch in the matrix.
It's a good feeling. Yeah, maybe it was in one of the other timelines.
Yeah, glitch in the matrix. But yeah, we definitely would talk about it and everything else and all that. Maybe Friday. You free Friday?
I should. I'll talk to you a little bit off the air, but I should be. Joe and I will be on this Sunday at 5:00 doing a catch up stream, doing a little pre Last of Us stuff, showing them watching the trailer and a couple things.
When is the trailer dropped?
Yeah, or like there was some teasers, and we have had a chance to talk about some of the casting stuff, and we're gonna do a stream and talk a little bit about whether they're gonna screw it up. But we're gonna do it at like 5:00 on Sunday.
All right, 5:00 Sunday. Make sure you are at Phil the Issues Guys channel talking about The Last of Us
and maybe some other shit too. Maybe some other
jumping off and everything else. So make sure you do that.
The return
try,
of the show.
Try to record Friday. I thought I was going to Connecticut. I'm not sure if I'll be going. If I don't go to Connecticut, then I'll definitely rock it. Friday night. It'll be Friday night. We'll pop it off Friday because I'll be busy Saturday. So we'll pop it off Friday. We'll try to get some old friends on it. Phil. We'll try to see if we can get some old friends to come on here and rock with us and stuff like that. We love to get Bar. That'd be amazing to get Bar. That'd be
I know she's a relative new mother, and there's a time zone thing with her, but hopefully we'll be able to figure out Bar.
It is. It would be hard to get. I know it would be hard to get her, but we could get.
You could also ask some people to record, see if they could record a message for you if they can't make it. Send a little brief. I could see her maybe if she had time to record a little something instead of staying up till 3:00 in the morning to come on a stream or something.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll hit her up and see what she can do and everything else. And maybe get Gray. And, I haven't heard from Gray. She got all that and the Daiwo City podcast. We can talk to them. We can talk. The Hypes Watch. Maybe we get a reunion of some sorts of the small council. To come through and stuff and all that. So.
I extended the invitation to our Pokemon friend, and he said if he was around, he would pop in.
All right, he ain't got to pop in. He could just stay in the chat if you want. Just make it say hi in the chat.
I'm gonna tell him when we're doing it. So he said to definitely let him know.
All right, that's what it is and stuff like that. All right, people, thank you all for rocking with us and everything else and all that good stuff. We'll get this popping. I'll be back again. I'll be back with new videos and everything else. Trust me, I promise you. I just been working on a new way of telling the stories, not of the things more than I'm doing a little bit more. I want to say more professional or anything, but this different. You always got to keep trying to advance, and that's it. You know what I mean, and all that. So, just like the way to do is, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.
I think we're still live.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
I didn't hit the end button.
Well, I mean, now this is the after show.
No, I didn't hit it.
Let me
Hey,
tell you
hey.
what I really think, Tony. That
Yeah,
motherfucker.
tell me what you really think, Phil.
That motherfucker in the motherfucker. The motherfucking big bird fucking used to fuck with his shit in Oscar the Grouch's fucking thing, dude. It was a fucking
All right.
whole fucking shit.
We'll try to end it now. All right, Pete,
Like I'm a fucking nice guy.
y'all get out.